What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants and old hate. Now let's get into it. So, Kubrat Pulev says Anthony Joshua ran from a fat, grotesque, obese little fat kid in Andy Ruiz. He's entitled to his opinion, but I don't even think he believes that truthfully. Um, Fighters like to make noise before they have a fight, talk trash and all of that nonsense. But at the end of the day, um, Anthony Joshua, he did what he had to do to win. You fight a boxer, you box a fighter. You know, if you're capable of switching styles, if you're capable of adapting and doing what it takes to win, that's what you do. I mean, you can go out with a loss and have people criticize you and talk about how vulnerable you were, how you was not able to adapt and do the things that you need to do to win. If that's more credit to you than actually getting the win, because you box in a style that people are not used to seeing you doing, but this is the same style that people, and not even because Ali moved a whole lot more than that, but they praise Muhammad Ali for doing it. They praise Larry Holmes for doing it. They praise Sugar Ray Leonard for doing it. They praise Sugar Ray Robinson for doing it. I mean, they praise Greg Page and Craig Tillis and everybody who got on their toes and bounced and moved. Any fighter that you've seen back in those days, especially, like anytime these guys would get up on their toes and start to dance, all of a sudden the crowd gets start to cheer. They get into it because, excuse me, it was all about, they were trying to find that next Muhammad Ali. AJ's not trying to be Ali. He did what he had to do to win, though. So I would ask Kubrat Pulev, like, well, how would you have fought Andy Ruiz? Because for any of these guys that think standing right there in front of Andy Ruiz trying to trade punches with him when they're not fast enough, you know, they don't work off their jab. Most of these big heavyweights, they don't work off their jab enough. They just kind of stand there and fight in the phone booth. And that is not a good style to fight with the guy like Andy Ruiz, who's pretty much, I say he has the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. And if you can't match that speed and you're just going to stand there and bang, even if you're just using your jab, what's the purpose of just using your jab just to stand there and try to bang when, okay, using the jab is what you do? And it didn't we praise Tommy Hearns for that? Jab, jab, jab. Everything starts with the jab. Jab, 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 right? And we basically have come to a point in boxing where now everything is just standing and slow, toe to toe. Look, even in bare knuckle brawling, these guys are moving, using skill. It's not about, there's no skill about two guys just standing there toe to toe, just swinging left and rights. There's no skill in that, okay? Even in bare knuckle boxing, you see these guys moving, 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 moving. I mean, they wing a lot more than in boxing with just swinging wild shots a lot of times. But I mean, there's strategy involved. You can't win. I mean, I would not pay my money, whether to go buy a ticket or to order it on pay-per-view, to go sit down and watch two guys just stand in street fight. I wouldn't pay my money to go see that. So for all these guys that's talking about what AJ should have did, they just let me know that they would lose to Andy Ruiz. Because all they're talking about is, stand there and bang, stand there and bang. That's what got him knocked out the first time. So at the end of the day, when you guys are saying, oh, he should have done this, and you got to mix it up some more. Like Paulie Malignaggi said it. Why didn't you mix it up more with with Sean Porter? For every fighter that has an answer for every other fighter, instead of saying, look, it looks easier from the outside looking in. I would like to have done this and this and that, but I couldn't. No, they don't say that. No, it's always when it's another fighter. They'll make an excuse for themselves, but when it's another fighter, man, he fought like a scared fighter. I mean, you got to go in and mix it up more. You didn't mix shit up with Sean Porter. You fought on the back foot all night and got steamrolled. And that's the type of fighter Ruiz is. Come forward, let his hands go. Constant pressure. Only Sean Porter, he has way better footwork. Ruiz doesn't really he has no footwork, but he's basically pressure. So if you're going to make the fight easier for him, why would you not take advantage of a slow-footed fighter? Okay, he has fast hands, but his feet are slow. He doesn't know how to cut off a ring. Keep it long. Bow, easy night. Keep it long. Keep it long. Why would you stand there and bang with this guy when that's not to your advantage? So I don't care, and I think Paulie Malignaggi, as far as a commentator as well, he's a dope commentator. He was a good fighter, in his time. You know, he had, you know, the brittle hands is what really hurt him. But same thing. You didn't. He has no punching power for one. But you didn't fight Sean Porter that way. There's several guys you got steamrolled by. You know that you got when you lost, you got beat up bad, but you got steamrolled. I mean, by Sean Porter. So to say, well, Matt, people saying, well, you know, he should have just stood there and brawled with him, that would be stupid, right? So here's the thing: he couldn't beat Sean Porter if he was fighting on the back foot, if he was coming forward, if he was just using lateral movement, working off the jab, slip an uppercut here and there, slip move. He just didn't have it. He had nothing to keep him off with. Andy Ruiz can take a punch. Okay, we know that AJ can drop him. I mean, anybody can be knocked out and knocked down. That's sure anybody. You catch a person right scenario, boom, gone. But discipline, that's all part of a fight. Following and sticking to a game plan, that's all a part of it. We don't train just to go in the fight and throw it all out. And well, my ego kicked in, my pride kicked in. So, you know, Kubrat Pulev, as far as I'm concerned, just talking, you know, running his mouth, you know, just talking. One thing is, Anthony Joshua stopped the man that beat you, Kubrat Pulev. So, I mean, fighters like to take shots. They like to say this and say that, whatever. But how would Kubrat Pulev have fought Andy Ruiz? How would he have fought him? You know, it's like Gerald Washington pointing out all of the flaws in Deontay Wilder. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. All of these flaws that he pointed out, Deontay Wilder has them. But I don't think you're good enough to do it. You know, Wilder's still a lot faster than you are, Brazil. Brazil is not the same fighter. I've said this several times about him. He's not the same fighter as he used to be. And he's slow, very slow on his feet and his hands. He's had too much wear and tear on his body. Too many wars, man. Too many wars. All it takes is one fight. One fight. You take enough punishment, you'll never be the same again. He has too much wear and tear on his body, man. And it's like, I didn't see it. Like I said, if he beat Wilder, it would just be because he just landed something. Like he said, let's just see who lands first, which I thought was a bad idea because he's so damn slow. And that didn't work. So just because you watch a fighter and say, this is what you have to do to beat this guy, that doesn't mean that the fighter that's going into the fight is going to win. And the person giving advice, that doesn't mean that you're going to win. So anyway, I think Joshua stops Kubrat Pulev. We'll see. But I think he knocks him out. You know, bottom line, AJ wins as far as I'm concerned. But we'll see. And as far as the running and all of this, you know, I'm so used to people saying it's nonsense about a fighter that knows how to box versus a guy that just needs you to cooperate with him to make him look better because he can't cut off the ring. He can't move. He can just come in, follow you, get punched in his face, follow, ahead, get snapping back, follow. And he gets credit for coming forward, taking punches, being a punching bag. But at the end of the day, he won a unanimous decision. It wasn't even close. And basically, like I said, he stopped the man, Vladimir Klitschko, that stopped you. So when you look at, like for me, when I listen to these comments and I look at what a fighter brings to the table, I can't say a whole lot about Pulev right now because I haven't seen him fight in so long. So I don't know what he still has. I don't know how sharp he is. But he's a mandatory. You know, he wasn't picked because AJ wanted to fight this guy. He's a mandatory. Just like Alexander Usyk is a mandatory. But he has a fight. He has a fight, right? From what I understand, he's supposed to pick up his fight with Derek Chisora. But anyway, I don't know, man. There's not much to say about Kubrat Pulev. I mean, I know what he's done, and that's all I can say is what he's done. And the biggest fight of his career, he lost. And I believe he's going to lose this one as well. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on this video. Catch y'all on the next one.